what you call a functional, or what they would have called the dressed up trash can. Like, if I don't tell you, you wouldn't know. Like, today is my first time really outside of me putting a story inside my book. Is me really putting it out there, because it's not for me to keep no more, it's for me to give it away. And when you tend to keep things, you tend to become stagnant, you tend to hold yourself back. And I'm in a process of growth right now, you know. And so like it's not for me to keep it no more, it's for me to give it away, because eventually, like I said, it's not something that I want to continue to do. But it's something that I'm still battling with. I'm a work in progress.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest on. Her name is Alexis.
A very special guest.
And today we'll be talking about her vice and her choice of vice and why she does it. And I guess
why can't it just be my lifestyle? Go ahead.
Okay. So, can you tell me about your childhood growing up?
So my childhood was basically black and white. And I say black and white because I had the best of both worlds, you know. My mom did the best she could with what she had with raising me. She always made sure that I had the best, you know, but in her striving to give me the best, it was things that happened to me, you know, when she wasn't around, and trusting other people, and things like that. Like me being molested when I was young, for a period of 5 years by my babysitter granddaughter. All in all, you know, I was alone a lot, you know, having to adapt to a lot of different areas in my life, to a lot of different places, you know, code switching, being a part of, and, you know, trying to not necessarily fit in, but just, you know, staying mediocre or staying out the way, you know, not, so I wouldn't have to
adapting to your environment, per se. Like you said, code switching.
Yeah. So that's how my childhood was. But you know, as I got older, you know, I blamed my mom for a lot of things, and it wasn't her fault, but it was just as you get older, you try to figure things out and things like that. And that's what caused me to, as I got older, you know, I'm gonna say around the age of, so the first time, that's how my childhood was, you know. Yeah. So it was pretty much black, that's why I say black and white, you know, black being bad, but in the white, you know, looking at it in the light, it was good, you know.
So what age did you start doing your vice, and what was your experience?
So the first time I experienced my vice, you want to ask me my vice?
I was about to say, you want to tell?
So my vice is PCP, which they now call the dipper, whatever you may want to call it. But I first started smoking sacks. I experienced smoking sacks at like 18.
Is that the same thing?
It's PCP, but it's not the same form of it. So like, just hearing like people talking about it, I wanted to experience it. When I, you know, so I was like, when I turned 18, I'm gonna try it out. And then when I tried it out, I liked it, you know. But as time went on, I was introduced to the dip or whatever by somebody, you know. They was like, come on, somebody, I never got this, and feel like you got hang on the matrix or whatever. And so when I hit it, I was in the matrix, and you know, I liked it, you know, and so I kept smoking it from there. It started off recreational, but you know, as you know, time go on, as life starts to hit you as you get older, it became habitual, you know. And so like, I still do, you know, probably to relax or whatever. But sometimes it can be a stressor, it can be a depressor, you know, it could be a downer. But it's what I like to do, you know. And sometimes I didn't like to do it was more so because of how I felt like people was judging me, you know, so I hid it, you know, and some, you hide things, it's like a trash can, you know, you pile it up, you pile it up, you pile it up, and it started to stink, you know, it started to overflow, you can't hide it no more. And so that's when it was like, you know, it's out there, you know, what people want to say, because it's not a looked upon vice, a looked upon drug, and it's not a drug that people, you know, they frown upon it, you know. So I, you know, because they didn't like it, I didn't like it, but it was like I did like it,
right?
You know, but it's now okay. Fuck them, I gotta accept me for who I am. But in the beginning, it was a lot of me, you know, wanting to be accepted, not have people to frown upon me, to look down on me, and pass judgment upon me. But as I got older, you know, and becoming into who I am and being true to who I am as an individual, it's like, who are you to judge me?
Yeah.
We all have our own vices, versus if it's shopping, if it's eating, if it's laying around, you know, whatever you like to do, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever
you know what
makes
I'm saying?
you feel comfortable.
But at the same time, it can't be an enabler, you know, because it's not just about me. I have children that I have to be considerate of. I have, you know, so it has played a major part in my life, you know, down mostly, you know, because I didn't have, you know, you can never be in control of something that, well, you can be. In the beginning, I didn't have control of it. And so it's because I was, you know, I was ashamed of it, you know, liking it, but I was ashamed of it. You know, it was like a catch-22.
Trying to conceal that light because of, like you said,
what everybody else thought, or what I thought everybody else would think of me. You know, and so that's how, you know, I let it play a part of dictating who I was as an individual. You know, and the whole time, I'm not a bad person. You know, we all have iniquities, which are temptations and things like that. And so now I just try to more so just be true to who I am and not hiding who I am and being open about who I am. And I'm okay with me today. At first I wasn't okay with me because I wasn't okay with whatever people thought about me, but I came to love Alexis, you know, and once I started to love me, it's nothing that nobody can tell me about me, regardless of what I do. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, you know. And like I said, it did play a big part. I went through a lot. I gave the judicial system like 10 years of my life, back and forth to jail, programs, things like that, probation. You know, and petty little charges, you know, because I had that, trying to hide it. And, you know, when I'm out, because I can't do it in the comfort of my own surroundings, you know, you get caught up, you know, and stuff like that. So, like, now, it is what it is. It's not, it is what it is. You know, it's still a work in progress. Because today I'm still battling with it, you know, and still, like, you know, not, you know, some days I have my good days and I have my bad days, you know, but I still do me, you know, but I just know how to be in control of me more and accepting me more and not worried about what someone else thinks about me.
Okay. Definitely understand that. And have you had any spiritual experiences while high?
What do you mean, like spiritual? Like, have
Like
I
a trip.
like went into the realm or
Yeah.
something like that? It ain't spiritual when you tripping. You know what I'm saying? You just tripping. I have had an experience, you know, but that was it. That was a long time ago. I did have an experience with so like I tripped out, but I was in my own home and I was around someone that was close to me. He's no longer here, but you know, when I just thank God for allowing me to have my sanity, you know, because a lot of people, you know, it's a mind thing, you know.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter, and when you have a strong mind, sometimes you think your mind weak, but when you're a strong individual, your mind is strong. It's all in what you think and how you think about yourself, you know. And so I was weak-minded then, you know, but as time went on, I'm strong-minded, so it's like I'm also in control of what I do today, and I don't let things control me anymore.
Okay. So, how does your advice make you feel?
So for me, it's like getting a glass of wine, you know, like coming home from a hard day at work and I just want to have a glass of wine. I don't want to have a glass of wine. I'd rather smoke. You know what I'm saying? And, so that's what it is, you know. That's how it is for me. That's how it is for me.
Okay. So, what makes you continue?
What makes me continue? It has become habitual. It's something that is a part of my daily living. It's something that it has become something that I'm used to doing, and that's why I still do. And it's not. And I have my days where though I want to stop or I talk and I'm like I ain't gonna do it no more. I don't want to do it, you know, because it plays its part in your life. So like I say, I don't glorify it, and I'm not sitting here boasting on like, oh yeah, you know, like it's the best. It's fucking boat. It took me on some trips, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, and when I speak in, what do you call that? When you write in, it's called it took me on some trips.
Writer's block?
No, not writer's block. It's creative writing.
Creative writing.
Yeah. So when I speak about it, I speak in a creative way, you know, like, you know, the boat, you know what I'm saying? I actually have a story in a book that's compiled by an author called Nita Vault, which is a childhood friend of mine. It's called Shattered Mirror, Silent Voices or whatever, and I'll get into that, you know, a little later. But it's both. That shit took me on a trip. You know, it's taking me on some trips, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like me tripping out, but I'm talking about me being lost within self. You know what I'm saying? Me losing my kids, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just being real, like, me losing a sense of who I am as a person. You know, I never wanted to have an addiction or vice, but it's something that, you know, I lost my daughter's father 16 years ago. Well, 17 years ago, because my daughter's 17 now, 2 weeks before I had her.
Wow.
And I didn't grieve properly, you know, and so, like, that's where it became medicating. I started to medicate, you know, and so, like, that's when, you know, medicating, it started off as, it started off fun, you know, yeah, I'm out here having fun with it, but then, like, it started to be coping, medicating, and then it becomes habitual. Because you get over that medicating process. You become, you know, you get over it. But I've lost a lot, but I've gained a lot because I'm a residual person. You know, I failed a lot. And my kids have went through a lot with me, you know. But I'm not a bad mom. I'm a great mom. You know, I'm what you call a functional or what they would have called the dressed up trash can. Like, if I don't tell you, you wouldn't know. Like, today is my first time really outside of me putting a story inside my book. Is me really putting it out there. Because it's not for me to keep no more. It's for me to give it away. And when you tend to keep things, you tend to become stagnant. You tend to hold yourself back. And I'm in a process of growth right now. You know, and so like, it's not for me to keep it no more. It's for me to give it away. Because eventually, like I said, it's not something that I want to continue to do. But it's something that I'm still battling with. I'm a work in progress. Rome one built in one day. The Jews wasn't delivered to delivered out of Egypt. It took them 40 years and 40, 40.
It takes time.
It takes time. And so, like, with that being said, like, I count my blessings, I thank God, because without him, it wouldn't be possible. Like, you have people who have lost their sanity, they've lost their peace, but it's because of that man that I had peace within me, by me putting him first, and praying to him and just asking him to keep me. And all that I do is by his grace and his mercy that I still am able to be functional. I'm still able to have my sanity. I'm still able to be intelligent, articulate, and being a good person, me starting my nonprofit. I have a nonprofit that I'm in the makings of starting. What I've been wanting to do, but with that, it makes me procrastinate sometimes, and things like that. But that's what it's gonna be, just giving back and being real, being true to who I am, and not letting nobody take nothing away from me today. So as long as Alexis is okay with me, it ain't nothing that nobody can say to me anymore or make me feel. It's like that quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, the president. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And so today, no one can make me feel less than. It's all on how I perceive myself. You can have a perception upon me, but who are you? We more alike than different,
So, is there anything that triggers you and make you want to smoke?
Hostility, being in negative environments. I try to keep negativity, because I'm not a confrontational person. I've never been a negative person, and people trying to tell me about who I am when I know who I am. It's all up to you to accept me for who I am today. And see, that's where, but today I don't have any triggers. I'm my own trigger. If I want to smoke, it's because I decide to. It's not because of what nobody else had put on me. I don't let people run space in my head no more, and I don't let people put their shit on me no more. Sometimes people try to project themselves on you, like telling you what you need to do or how you need to do. You need to focus on you, because what you eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? And how you move don't make me groove. You know what I'm saying? So like, today I'm okay with me. And a lot of, I have a great support system. I have beautiful cousins that are sister cousins that love me. My cousin Raven, one of them, walking her lines
the realm of
the parasites. My cousin Tanika. My parents are great parents. My mom, she's an excellent woman. She supported me through. She's a true mom. She's what you call a true mom. She never stopped being a mother. She's always a mother. Because no matter how old your kids get, your mommy duties are never over. And because I became okay with me, I let go. You have to forgive in order to be forgiven. You have to be forgiven in order to forgive. And so I'm me and my mom, we have, I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my dad, even though I didn't meet him until I was 14. A lot of that played a part in it too. You know, me not knowing my dad when I was till I was 14 and things like that. You know, so like my vice, it's just an all around trip. It is what it is. The boat, it has took me on some trips, you know, and it's just, you know, from childhood to adolescence to being a young adult to being an adult. And you know, we don't come with a handbook, you know, and so like you just sometimes people tend to gravitate to things that want when you don't want to feel things. You don't want to. You don't want to feel that hurt. And I endured a lot of hurt coming up, you know. And, but I've overcome it. I still go through things, you know, but I'm okay today with me, you know. And I got my high power, which is God, and He got my back. And as long as I got Him, I'm gonna stay 10 toes down and keep moving.
So, do you think people treat you different because of your drug of choice?
People have treated me different, you know, but I got a lot of people just trying to figure me out now more so. They like, how this bitch smoke and she don't look shabby or well this lady, cause like, you know, but how she doing what she doing, and you know how she maneuvering, and she has this habit, or you know how she keep herself afloat, you know how she ain't burnt out on the side of the street, you know, on the corner, you know, cause like I said, if I don't tell you my walk, you ain't gonna know how I walk, you know, if I don't tell you, you ain't gonna know, you know, so to, you know, it's more so people trying to figure me out now, like, damn, how she do it, you know, and to be honest, I don't boast on it. I'm not proud of it, but it just make me, you know like I just got people watching, and you know, and I'm no better than nobody, but all you gotta do is just ask me, and I tell you, you know. So like, but yeah, to answer your question, people have frowned upon me and passed judgment upon me, but like I said, who are you? You know.
Do you ever see yourself stopping?
I have stopped, you know, and is it better when I do stop? Hell yeah, it's a hell of a lot better. I save more money, I get to shop more, you can look good more, I get to do more. But do I see my, yes I do, because I have goals that I want to accomplish, but right now I'm just walking the path that God has created for me, because in my vice, I meet a lot of people and I help a lot of people. You know, I'm what you call a heal helper. You know, and sometimes God you can't run from things that was already been your path has already been created, was already written. You know, and this has already been set in stone before I was even thought about. You know, before my mother even thought about conceiving me, or my parents thought about conceiving me, God wrote this for me. So that's the path that I'm walking. When God sees fit for me to start, but like I said, in my path, you have to go through a test in order to have a testimony. It's like gold, right? And I learned this from my pastor, mine, and may he rest in peace. It's like gold when you go through the fire, right? You have to burn it. It has to be fermented and things like that, melted down. But when it come out, what is it? It's shiny. People want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's better than ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. I'm going through, and I have to go through in order to get to. I just say my advice to people is, if you haven't picked up, don't pick up. You know, but if you going through it, you know, reach out to somebody who's more alike than different. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know where you're going to get your help from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even though I still go through, I still am a help to others. You know, I'm very resourceful. I'm very articulate. I'm very intelligent. You know, and I just try to help people to avoid going through what I went through, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have something to have a hold of you, and you not knowing who you are, or you wanting to detach, and you battling, and you like, this not me. I like it, but it don't love me. You know what I'm saying? But long as you love yourself, you know what I'm saying, it gets better with time. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to be honest with who you are. You know what I'm saying? Honesty is the key to everything. And loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? Once you become honest with who you are and love yourself, it gets better. And that's what's going to help you to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about what the naysayers say, or what the dictators, or what the hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? And not being conformed to the world, not being conformed to flesh. And just ask God to help you to live in spirit and not in flesh. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at today. You know, I'm walking with that man. And as long as he got me, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm shielded. You know what I'm saying? God got his angels giving charge over me. You know, I could spit a whole lot. I could talk you blue in the face tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I really appreciate you having me and speaking about it, because I didn't have the courage to. Any times I be wanting to go on live and tell people my story and things like that, but sometimes you have to have somebody to bring it up out of you, you know, in order for you to be able to help somebody else, you know. But that's my advice to people. Just be true to who you are, you know, and just know that you can't overcome it. You can't. It's not something, you know, that you have to, you know, it has to be ongoing. You know, first you gotta let that hurt go, because it's a mental with a physical. You know, a lot of people who have vices and they have addictions, whatever you want to call it, they have things that they've gone through mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That has caused them to attach to something, that causes them to become codependent upon something. You know, and so once you get your mental in check, everything else gonna fall in place.
You're right about that. You are so right about that. So right. So, I would like for you to share with everyone your book that you are featured in.
Okay, so this is my book. It's a little rough, you know, but it's called Shattered Mirror Silent Voices. It's real stories from real people. I have a chapter in the book. I'm what you call the co-author, but it's compiled by my childhood friend Nita Vault. I think you could still get this off of Amazon. What is it? What do you call it? Ebooks. You can get it. You can get it in the physical form, or you can get it in the virtual form.
PDF.
PDF. Yeah. This is her on the back. You really can't see her, and she has overcome depression and things like that. So she reached out to people who have dealt with depression. It's what you call dual diagnosis. People who deal with mental health and drug abuse. Lost Inside of Me. Page 99 by A. Van Buren. Alexis Van Buren. Van Buren is my middle name. But so I'm gonna read it for you. And this is, you know, how I get through it is with writing. I do a lot of journaling and things like that. But the title of my story is called Lost Inside of Me. And it states, as I sit here and reflect, there are a lot of places I can begin. I can start being a little girl growing up. I can start as a rebellious teenager, or I can start as a lost young woman. There are parts of my life when I endured pain, then later felt the hurt. Pain from resentment, anger, fear, molestation, confusion, and depression. When someone or something hurts you, you can ignore it. It's not until the pain sets in that made these things feel unbearable. It felt foreign. It didn't belong. The depression started to invade my personal space without me knowing. It hit me out of nowhere without warning. I couldn't even sort clothes. What was this thing? How did it get here? These were questions I found myself asking, but there were no answers. So I began to search for a helpful solution to my problem. At least that's what I thought. I came across this advertisement for a cruise ship. This cruise was the answer that I was looking for. It would take me on the trip of my life, a life that I wanted so badly to reinvent. I would cast all my cares away on this cruise ship called the Love Boat. I boarded this cruise 14 years ago, and I've been on the ride of my life ever since. On the Love Boat, I didn't have any worries. Reclaim your life, fight what's rightfully yours.
I loved it, every bit of it. That was
Thank you.
awesome. Y'all go get the book. Go get the book so y'all can read, because I'm pretty sure there's many more good stories just like hers
It
in
is, it is. I'm just one of them.
there. And do you mind telling them about your nonprofit?
So my nonprofit is called You Could Thank Me Later. It's a public liaison resource center that I'm in the process of building, giving back to those who are re-entering into society, low income, moderate families.
Thank you for coming on. I'm so happy to have you, and I'm so happy to be the first person to interview you so that you can get your story out, because like, you're an awesome woman, and
Thank you.
everyone needs to hear this, because not only will you learn from it, you'll get a better understanding of people who are maybe going through the same thing as you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Shout out to my cousins once again, Raven, Tanika, to my brother Jacoby, and to my on and off significant other Jamal, and to my kids.
Okay, now all the shout outs. Okay.